Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Today we're tackling something I know a lot of us struggle with, at least I know I do sometimes, uh, debating in English.
Yes.
Not just casual back and forth, but really being able to express your ideas strongly and, confidently.
Important stuff.
Really important, especially in those big meetings or even, just those everyday conversations where you really want to get your point across.
Right.
So to help us unpack all this, we're looking at an episode from Everyday English. And they had some really fantastic tips and even expressions we can use.
Oh, I'm ready.
Me too. And you know what really caught my eye right away was this thing called the PRP method.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's PRP?
So it stands for point, reason, example, point again.
Sounds pretty straightforward.
Right. It
Yeah.
sounds super simple, and I thought, okay, this is too basic, right? But then when I really thought about the why this structure is so effective,
The why is always key.
it is. It's not just about listing things out. It actually mirrors how we as humans naturally take in information and make sense of it.
I see.
So you start with your main point, boom, this is what I believe, and then you give a reason that's going to resonate with whoever you're talking to.
Yeah. Make them care.
Exactly. But
Right.
then you don't stop there. You got to back it up with an example they can really grasp, something concrete,
Yeah.
and then you bring it home by circling right back to your initial point.
Ah, clever. So it sticks in their mind.
It sticks. I thought it was brilliant. And they had this perfect example in the episode about remote work. They said, I believe remote work boosts productivity because it cuts down on commuting time. Studies even show that remote workers are more productive. Therefore, remote work boosts productivity.
Okay, yeah. When you lay it out like that, it seems obvious, but I can see how in a lively discussion,
Oh, absolutely.
having that framework to fall back on would be super helpful.
100%. It can
Yeah.
help you stay focused and really drive your point home.
Yep.
Now, another thing this episode really stressed, and I thought this was really important, was being polite.
Oh, politeness, especially when things get heated, right?
Right. Because debates, sometimes they can get, a little intense, right?
Definitely.
But they really emphasize keeping things respectful,
Yeah.
especially in those professional settings.
Makes sense. You don't want to burn bridges.
Exactly. And they actually give some really, I thought, helpful phrases to kind of navigate those, trickier conversations.
Ooh, like what? Give us an example.
Okay, so instead of just flatly disagreeing with someone, they suggest saying something like, I see your point, but could we consider another perspective?
Ooh, I like that. It's acknowledging their view, but still, opening the door for yours.
It's like verbal judo.
It is.
I love that. Now, speaking of persuasion, the episode was really big on facts. You can't just have an opinion, you got to back it up.
Oh, absolutely. Facts are your friends in a debate.
They are. It makes you sound way more credible.
For sure. Anyone can just throw out an opinion, but if you can say, well, according to recent studies, this is the case, or, for instance, we've seen this happen in this specific situation, suddenly your argument carries a lot more weight.
Way more weight. Data, examples, all of that makes you sound much more convincing.
Logic is key.
So, what happens if someone throws a counterargument at you? Do they have any tips for that?
They did. They said the best way to handle a counterargument is to acknowledge it first.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Instead of just steamrolling ahead, say something like, oh, it's a valid perspective, but, and then present your own stance calmly.
So it shows you're listening.
Exactly. It shows respect and that you're not just dismissing their point of view.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, now for my favorite little tip, and this is pure gold.
Yeah.
If you ever need a moment to gather your thoughts, just say, let me think about it.
Huh. That is brilliant.
Right. You buy yourself some time without looking, flustered or unprepared.
Love it.
Genius. Oh, and speaking of helpful things, they define some key vocabulary words, just in case.
Oh, right.
Right, for sure we're all on the same page.
Always good to clarify it. So which words did they cover?
Okay, so they started with mandatory, which just means something's required, like
Right.
wearing a seatbelt is mandatory.
Simple, but important.
Right. Then they explained perspective, which is
Yeah.
just how you see something, your point of view. Like, from my perspective, flexible work hours are a huge benefit.
Yeah, everyone's got their own perspective.
Exactly. And last but not least, counterargument, which is just a fancy way of saying a response that challenges your idea.
Gotcha.
So we've got all these great tips, but how do we actually, put them into practice?
Well, the episode had a suggestion for that too. They said it's good to pick a simple topic like, is social media good or bad? Something relatable.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Right. And then try debating both sides of the issue. It helps you see things from different angles and really sharpen those debating skills. You might even surprise yourself with the arguments you come up with.
That's such a great idea. I'm totally stealing that.
Steal away.
Of course, it's not just about what you say, it's also how you say it, right?
Oh, 100%. Your delivery can make or break your argument.
Totally. The episode really emphasized speaking clearly at a moderate pace and using body language.
Yeah, things like eye contact and hand gestures can really help engage your audience.
Make you seem more confident.
Exactly. And speaking of confidence, let's be real, everyone gets a little nervous before a debate.
Oh, for sure. Those pre-debate jitters are real. But the episode gave some helpful expressions for, managing those nerves.
Like what?
Things like, that's an interesting point, but, or, I think there's another angle to consider.
Right, right. They give you a moment to collect your thoughts and respond thoughtfully.
Exactly. And they make you sound calm and collected, even if you're, like, panicking on the inside.
Yeah. We've all been there. But honestly, I think the most important thing is just to practice.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Exactly. The more you debate, the more comfortable you'll become. It's like any skill, you get better the more you use it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, there you have it, folks. All the tools you need to master the art of debate in English.
Just remember, it takes practice and a bit of courage to step outside your comfort zone, but the rewards are well worth it.
Now, as we wrap up, here's a little something to think about. Think of a time when you really wanted to speak up, share your opinion, but you held back. How might these tips have helped you in that situation?
Could you have changed the conversation? Could you have even changed the outcome?
That's a really good question.
It's all about finding your voice and using it effectively.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder. Keep practicing, keep those conversations going, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh.